Hi there, welcome. Thank you for being here today. We're gonna dive on in, get you some clarity, see what's going on overall in the energy pre-warning. I do have Rose here on the rock with me today. She's being a very good girl at the moment, but if I happen to have to dive into the water and go after her, you'll know what happened. Let's get you some clarity and see what's going on overall in the energy. Also, which messages would be the most helpful for you. It is a timeless collective reading. If you're here, there will be something that comes through and it'll feel personal, like it makes sense for your particular situation. It might not be every message if it doesn't make any sense. It could be a message for someone else. Rose. It could also be a message. Keep an open heart, an open mind. It could be a message for you, and it just makes sense later. Trust that divine guidance that you have inside of you, to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe, because the answer is always in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so your decisions are sound, they're based in love, and for the highest and greatest good of everybody, so we're all uplifted in love. Hi, baby. All right, let's get you some clarity. Can you give me a moment? You were doing very good sitting over there. Thank you. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. What are the opening messages the most important for the collective watching this reading to know about today? Please and thank you. You have a short journey coming ahead, maybe a road trip. Maybe this is to, I just heard a hop, skip, and a jump away. Now it says short journey, so for some of you that doesn't necessarily mean distance. It could be somewhere pretty far, but you're hopping on a plane and it doesn't take you as long as driving to get there. But I'm either getting that it is a short distance, it's not going to take you much time, or it's maybe a long distance, but still not going to take you much time. But there's something important about a journey coming up. Maybe this is something you I don't know why I hear all along, and then I heard all aboard. Maybe you're picking someone up. Maybe some of you are like, getting on a train. Maybe it's even a subway ride away. I don't know. What's that song? It's just one call away. Is it one call away? Maybe it happens after a phone call. I feel like for some of you, you're planning something. I actually see you on the phone. So even if you're near this person and you have face-to-face contact with them, there's something about like an important phone call or something that you figure out on the phone. Maybe somebody is coming to see you too. Maybe that's not your short journey. Maybe it's your short journey to the airport or to the bus station or to the subway stop or something like that. Because I feel like for some of you, you're actually like picking someone up. I do hear waiting for arrival. Now I hear a knock on the door. So let's see. Let's get another message for you guys. A short journey. The horse. Maybe some of you are taking your horse. Hey. Let's see. Maybe some of you are doing something on a horse. I actually see a horse on a beach now. A beach. I'm actually getting like a trail. But I do see kind of like woods, sort of like here, but I guess depending on where you are in the world, the trees will look different. But I see a lot of brush in front of the horse. I see somebody actually going like this, to make sure that the branches don't whack you in the face. Maybe there's something about being in the thick of it. And something is, now I see like a clearing. Maybe something is about to clear. Maybe you felt like you were in the thick of it before. What is that, Rose? Let me show you what she sees. She sees this, and I think she thought it was a snake. She's funny. All right, let's see. Maybe somebody's a little jumpy, or maybe something is kind of like an illusion. When you see something, you're like, oh, it's just a twig. Kind of like that. Let's see. What's another message for the collective today? Please and thank you. You got a sunrise. What a beautiful energy to come through. I feel like the same messages come through for you guys, even out of 200 cards. So you do have a new beginning. You do have something that is arising. Maybe some of you are up, you're like at the crack ass of dawn. Hey, maybe that's something that somebody says. New creative ideas, new ventures or journeys or adventures. And it's also a fresh new beginning. So maybe some of you are meeting somebody, or you have, I'm even getting a little bit of that vacation energy. Sometimes you can just go away somewhere, you know, relax a little bit, read a book, go on a horse, whatever you're doing. Maybe for some of you, hey, I just saw an amusement park. Maybe for some of you, it's a little more thrilling, you know, you're getting the adrenaline pumping, but there's something about you feeling different when you come back, you feeling like now you're ready to begin. I also feel like you're starting a new project. I actually see like a handshake, or like somebody passing you. I see like a business card, or I guess you can do this with your phones now too. Like, here, take my number. You make your phones kiss. So maybe it's something like that. I do feel like maybe there's somebody new coming into the mix. I'm not sure what that like dynamic is for you, but let's see. Maybe this is somebody you meet on that journey. What is another message on horse and sunrise? Did you hear that? I don't know what that was. Maybe some kind of frog. Let's see. Hopefully it wasn't an alligator. No alligators here. That would freak me out. I wouldn't be in the creek if there were alligators. You do have scissors. So maybe you're about to. Maybe some of you are getting a haircut. This is maybe cutting some strings that were anchoring you back or holding you down. This is usually removing something in your life. I see the split ends. You know, there's something that was kind of splitting apart. Maybe some of you are splitting apart with somebody. It's where... it's a disappointment somehow. I actually feel like I hear like bummed out. And now I see like I'm thinking of like, I don't know why, a beach bum. But I feel like somebody's maybe bummed out that maybe you can't join them. Or maybe they can't join you, or bummed out that something, I don't know. I'm getting kind of like a late energy, like somebody's late. I just thought of the white rabbit. Like I'm late for a very important date. I don't remember any more than that. But if it's not a big deal here, but there is a little bit of a disappointment. I do feel like if you're disappointed, I hear redirected. I do feel like there's going to be a rain date. There's going to be another chance to follow through with something that didn't work out. It could also be that if you don't see that follow through, or you don't get a rain date, you don't get an answer, that maybe that is disappointing. I just heard that's maybe your answer. Ooh, that felt harsh for some of you. I mean, that would be disappointing if somebody just doesn't follow through. But I still feel like there's this new beginning here. So if somebody is cut out of your life, I do feel like that has something to do with this new start. And I keep feeling a weight. So what was that? The dragonfly. So maybe you weren't even aware that something or someone was kind of weighing you down or holding you back. I kind of feel like once you get over the initial hump of disappointment, you're going to start to feel a lot better, a lot lighter. And I don't know why I saw like a rubber band. So that makes me think of like tension. You know, you have that rubber band, you don't realize how much tension is there, but then, you know, when like little kids are in class and they like snap the rubber band across the room, I'm getting that with you. I'm getting that you're going to catapult, that you're going to really start to have momentum somewhere in your life. So maybe it's just getting over that disappointment or that stress or that strain or that weight. And until you feel what it's like to fly, I feel like you're not going to look back and maybe not even recognize how heavy something was to hold. Let's see. Let's get another one on sunrise, scissors, and horse. What's one more message, please and thank you. You got a horse, and now you got a seahorse. Wow. So you got a water horse and you got a land horse here. Maybe it's water and land. There's something about the reverse of masculine and feminine, because I'm not all National Geographic here, but there is something about the male is the one that either carries the babies or does the birthing. It's like they're bass backwards. So maybe I'll find a little seahorse video and put it down in the description so we can get a little, extra insight on why the seahorse is unique. It does say there's a family matter. Oh, I gotta go get the cards. I got them. I got the cards. We're all good. It didn't float down the river. So we're gonna take what flew in the water besides me, and I'll show you what they are. You have these three here. A vase. I'm gonna have to dry these off later. A vase, a fair man, and a tortoise. But let's briefly go back to the seahorse, back to the water. So maybe an emotional situation. Maybe this is around, it could be family, but it could also be your soul family, like your family, your peeps. But I'm getting a flip-flop of masculine, feminine reversal or something. So if you are typically in the feminine energy, I feel like there's something about you like being a go-getter, really putting the pants on and like diving into something. There's also something about maybe somebody who's typically masculine in energy, kind of softening up a little bit, maybe even coming out of their shell or breaking down those walls. If it's that tough exterior, there's something about I'm getting us like sensitive inside. Maybe somebody is more sensitive than they appear to be. Let's see. Let's see what these say. You have maybe slow and steady. You have a tortoise here. So maybe somebody was taking their jolly old time. I don't know why I just thought of the snail in the Never-Ending Story. They're like, we can't wait for a snail. He's like, no, this is a racing snail. It like takes off really fast. So maybe somebody can move faster than you think. But maybe it's also about changing the pace of something. So maybe it is slow and steady, and it's not about the race or the win. It's about, where's your horse? I don't know where your horse went. It's about the journey. So slowly but surely, getting ahead. I do see like maybe 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but that's okay. Maybe there's a back and forth thing, but you're actually getting ahead faster than you know. I am getting that somebody is coming out of their shell, and that could be you. That could be somebody you're meeting, bringing you out of your shell. There's something about somebody's voice that I'm getting. Maybe somebody sings, but maybe there's an attractiveness about somebody's voice, or they find your voice attractive or healing. I actually see I do see pillow talk or something like that. Like that. So maybe it's somebody's voice in the morning. Maybe it doesn't sound so sexy. It's like my voice. It's like four octaves lower and all scratchy. But maybe that is sexy to somebody. Maybe you're also, you do have a sunrise. Hey, maybe you're waking up, bright and chipper with somebody. I do keep seeing like fluffy pillows. So take that as you will. Maybe that's coming on in. Maybe you're fluffing up your pillows. You do have a secret admirer. So I hear admiration too. Maybe somebody admires you. That could be a project you're working on. I actually see something that you've posted. So maybe social media. So maybe this is somebody looking from afar or, through a screen. I do feel like you capture their attention somehow. So either it's like a quote or a subject or something like that they're already curious about. Maybe that's how they found you, and or they are now curious about it. And maybe that's, I don't know, maybe you posted something. I get like eye-catching, but then now they're even more curious. You're more than meets the eye, or maybe it's something about the depth of you. I don't know. Let's see. I feel like for some of you, this could be somebody you know, and maybe they never, maybe they give, you know, little flirts here and there, but I feel like you catch somebody staring at you a little too long, like a half a second too long. And I feel like for some of you, if this is somebody in your life, you know who this is, that kind of has a little crush on you, but I don't feel like it's love for all of you. I feel like there's somebody that's admiring your work or your progress. I just heard your glow up. Maybe your glow up. Maybe it's your energy that's kind of attracting them. You know, it's how you glow, how you flow. I heard the way you do the things you do. Maybe it's not even anything big or important. Maybe they're just admiring, you know, the masterpiece that is you. Oh, that's cute. For some of you, you are going to maybe have somebody new come in your life, or this is you, or this is somebody that resonates right away as somebody you know. Now, this is somebody that can be fair in many different ways. Maybe their skin is fair. Maybe their hair is fair, blondie. I just thought of the tide is high. Or they could be like, they could be like a little silver fox. And I'm kind of not getting an age either, because I feel like it's all across the spectrum. I actually see somebody who's very young, like I want to say like early 20s, but maybe has gray hair already. I'm getting that somebody doesn't match their age. And that, I mean, that could be somebody's aged like fine wine and they're a lot older than you think. Maybe they have a like a youthful spirit. But I'm getting either that, or there's something that maybe they are youthful, but there's something kind of mature. But I'm not getting that they look like way old. I'm kind of getting that, I don't know. I see somebody attracted to somebody's gray or silver hair, whoever that is. Maybe that's somebody that in the future you're going to find more and more attractive as maybe a partnership unfolds or grows. I don't know what I'm seeing, but it could also be somebody's demeanor. So if somebody, you know, has nothing to do with coloration here, maybe somebody has a fair personality. Maybe you like that somebody always treats you fairly. And I'm getting somebody very, is that a fish? It was a fish. I am getting somebody kind to, I don't know why I see kind to like a waitress, a waiter, kind to people at the gas station, like kind to people. Like I see somebody that's got a lot of graciousness about them. That can always tell you something about a person. If you do go out to dinner with someone and you see how they treat, you know, the people that work there, whether that's that you're in a hotel or you're in a store or something like that, if there's somebody that's kind of always rude, I'm getting that may say more about their character than what they say about their character. I hope that made sense. You can sometimes observe something about a person and how they treat others and get a better idea of who they are than what they say. Hopefully that helps some of you, but you have, hold on, I need my glasses. You have dealings or relationship with a man. And it doesn't have to be a man for all of you. It can be somebody that's kind of masculine in their energy, with blonde, gray, or white hair. That's pretty general. So let's do some love. Let's do the love. So these, at least, if they go flying in the water, are kind of waterproofy. So we'll be okay with these. So let's get some divine truth. Now this, let's ask who this is, because this might be somebody you know. This also might be somebody you don't know yet. So for some of you, let's ask who the admirer is and what you should know about them to be helpful for you. And anytime I ever tap into anyone else's energy other than you that's, you know, watching this. I mean, unless it's you and your honey here watching me in the creek, or you and your bestie, and that's actually kind of cool. Like, hello, I love that you watch readings together. Then you're the one here for the message. You're the one here to, you know, find that answer within you, to help maybe a confusing situation, or to fill in the gaps, or to help create some healing, or give you a sense of direction. And usually that's because there is something that's in the dark. But if something is meant to be in the dark, it won't come through. I only allow messages to come through that are from somebody's higher self to come in, because it will be helpful for you. I don't believe in being nosy pants in people's energy where you weren't asked to be. So if it's not meant to come in, it won't. So let's ask politely what this person's higher self would like you to know to be helpful for you. What would be helpful for the collective on somebody admiring them? Now, we're not going to go to just somebody admiring your project here, or like, you know, a boss. What is a fish? You jumped in the same place. I wish I got that on film. This is going to be more somebody admiring you with the Google eyes, you know, with the old pitter patter in their heart. This is somebody that's got the flirts on for you. So let's see what would be helpful for you to know. What would be helpful for the collective, please and thank you. Maybe this is somebody writing you a love song. Maybe this is somebody who plays guitar. Maybe somebody is admiring you if you do anything on stage. Or I'm getting even just your taste in music. I don't know why I actually see like a beat, but it's making me like, every time I get that like heartbeat, boom, ba boom, you know, that kind of beat, I always think of Black Velvet by Alana Miles, which, if you didn't know that that song is about Elvis Presley, it is. You know, Love Me Tender leaves them crying in the aisles. So maybe somebody's coming through to love you tender, or they have a tender energy. You are my muse. You are my inspiration to create, and you ignite my soul. You light them up, man. So, I mean, you do have somebody admiring you. I do feel like that has to do with inspiration. You ignite my soul. I feel like maybe you're meeting somebody, or somebody does have a secret talent that they do not let out, like to public or on stage or something like that. I feel like somebody might be like, I don't know why I see like giving you a private show. Hey, I mean, hey, whatever that is. I'm kind of getting that for some of you. It could be even like, I see somebody cooking, you know, like maybe somebody you don't expect to be a really good cook, or they bake. Like I actually see a dude. At first I saw a pink apron, but then I saw one of, oh God, I forgot they had that, like one of those aprons where like it's that like a 3D image that makes it look like you're naked. But they're not. But I don't know, maybe somebody likes to cook naked but they have an apron on. Maybe it's a pink apron, but when they turn around you see their bare ass. Oh my goodness, what are the messages coming through today? Whatever it is, I'm getting that it makes you smile. I do see somebody that is cooking something. All right, let's continue. I totally just thought of Joe Cocker. Is that right? That's a baby, take off your coat. Yeah. Wait, where's your tortoise? That makes sense. Real slow. Take off your shoes. I'll take off your shoes. Baby, take off your coat or your dress. Hey. Yes, yeah, yeah. You can leave your hat on. Dun, dun, dun. You can leave your hat on. You can leave your hat on. He has a hat on. I mean, let's continue. But there is something like sassy about that song. Also, isn't that Kim Basinger? She's just beautiful. I can't remember the name of that movie though. All right, let's see what else would be helpful for the collective besides cadence. Please and thank you. What else? Cadence, communication. Maybe somebody has a name that starts with a C. I feel like you're gonna have really great communication with someone. If you've had distance or a lack of communication as of late, I do feel like either that's going to start picking up again, or somebody's gonna fill in, you know. This is the card that came through the first time I went in the creek too. It's with the orange. I feel like somebody wants to fill in the gaps, but I'm also getting that maybe somebody doesn't. There's certain subjects like the feels or something like that the person's just not that comfortable with communicating about, or putting an expression into how they feel, you know, getting the right words. It's like I'm getting all tongue-tied even trying to say whatever that message is. So maybe you make somebody tongue-tied, but maybe they bake you a cake, or they cook you dinner, or they write you a love song. You know, or I actually see somebody making you a painting or making something for you. So I still feel like you're going to get the communication, but it might not be via words. Maybe it's, I don't know. I just saw somebody playing an instrument, but not necessarily singing. I did see somebody that has a talent. I feel like I see a saxophone. Maybe a saxophone is important for some of you. I like to call it the sexy sax. What does this even say? Expect a message soon. They want to express how they truly miss you. So if somebody misses you, that could mean that you haven't seen them in a while. They've been taking their jolly old time getting back into communication with you. But I feel like for some of you, if this is somebody new, I feel like there's not even that much distance, and you kind of feel weird. I'm kind of like you're questioning something. You're like, dude, I've known this person for like 2 days and I haven't seen them in like 1 day. Why do I miss them so much? Maybe there's somebody that you kind of miss right away. I do feel like if that's the case, that space is healthy. I'm getting that, you know, you have that little extra anticipation of something to look forward to. I do feel like if some of you meet someone, you just click, you know, you want to spend every hour of every day together forever. Maybe you need to like, pull back, remember your friends, you know, remember the things that you were doing that made you attractive in the first place, that project you were working on, because I do feel like that space apart is actually part of that, like, oh, I'm so excited to see you kind of thing. And if you're just maybe together all of the time, I feel like maybe that has something to do with like slowing up the pace, like savoring it so it lasts, you know. Put many different chapters in that love story. Let's get another one. I'm gonna flip them, go this way. What is another one on cadence and communication? I don't know why I just heard La Isla Bonita. Maybe somebody has a little Latin, you know, a little Latin flair to them. Latin culture. Maybe it's a place in the world or an island. I hear that song, like, last night I dreamt of San Pedro, just like I've never gone. I knew the song, young girl with eyes like the desert. It all seems like yesterday, not far away. Tropical, the island breeze. I don't know, maybe tropical island? This is where I long to be, La Isla Bonita. Woo! you're over it. It's interesting. I feel like both of these cards came through the last time I had these cards down here. So maybe that's why somebody is maybe hesitating a little bit on calling you back or taking their time coming back out of their shell. Maybe they retracted into their shell because there was maybe some awkward communication, or maybe the non-communication is more awkward than, I don't know, being direct is kind of what I see. But if somebody feels like you're just over it, you know, you don't want to take breadcrumbs or get a half truth. If somebody needs to, I'm getting it, if somebody does need to apologize to you, they want to do it right. They want to do it big. Because I do feel like for some of you, somebody apologized, but then kind of did the same shit again. So I feel like maybe you were even the one that had to communicate, like, yeah, like, you can't do that again, I'm done. I'm like, sorry. So maybe somebody knows you're kind of strong. They know you're over the games and you'll no longer accept less than you deserve. Well, good for you. You shouldn't accept less than you deserve. I love that one card that came through in the one reading, and it said, always settle for more. So let's see. Clarify over it, please and thank you. Why is over it coming through? What else does the collective need to know? Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Someone had all, maybe they have, you know, all the perfect words. For some of you, if this is somebody that's got everything perfect to say all of the time, they know exactly how to communicate, but then maybe there's no follow through. Then maybe that's what you're over. Somebody looks like they're like a yellow parrot here, like just regurgitating words. There's something about the energy behind the words being more valuable. I'm also getting that it's important to have a phone call. It's important to see someone face to face so you can see their eyes, see all those subtle, like body gestures that, you know, we as humans can generally pick up. You know, I'm getting like, I don't know. I feel like you're going to feel the truth in someone more if they're in front of you. At least it's hearing the inflections or maybe the humor, you know, in their voice. You know, I did get that voice, but there's something about their body language being important. So maybe at least a video call. I know you were tired of hearing my excuses, all talk and no action. Let's see. What is another message, please and thank you? I kind of feel like some of you left somebody, I want to say you left somebody on red, or you don't respond the same as you used to. If this is somebody from your past, I feel like even your communication has changed, and I feel like maybe they feel like you're being elusive, or, you know, not giving all the information. I feel like you're just being a mirror to how you were treated. They're like, look, if you can't come through and give me honest communication, I'm not going to tell you what I did today. So maybe it's just like short answers or something like that. Maybe you have this person all nervous. They recognize that there's something that's changed about how you communicate now from when you used to communicate with them. Ooh, let's see. What else? Let's get another one. And then they want to be together. There's your snail. I did see the racing snail, right? I also, all right, so I am getting for some of you, because I see that admirer, and I feel like for some of you, this is somebody new. So if this is somebody new coming in, I kind of feel like this energy is what's bringing you strength to handle something differently with a new person, because you went through this shit in the past. And I kind of feel like that's part of that new communication, that you're almost like, you know, where I'm seeing somebody like be very direct, and I kind of feel like that's really attractive to a new person coming in. They're like, wow, no, you know, beating around the bush with this one. Like, perfect, I know what to expect. And I feel like somebody wants to meet you there. So there are kind of like guidelines and rules, but I feel like somebody really respects that about you. And it's not you being wishy-washy, and I don't feel like you're being overly pushy. Maybe you were a little wishy-washy in the past, or you felt like if you really spoke up or you demanded this, you know. I don't feel like it's unhealthy demands. I feel like you're just setting the bar high and respecting yourself, and, you know, speaking about how you would like to be treated, and kind of saying, if you don't want to treat me, you know, with respect or treat me well, this probably won't work out. And I feel like someone's like, oh no, it's going to work out. And like, I don't know. I feel like somebody is, I don't know why I just saw somebody like, I actually just saw somebody like bowing, but that actually made me think of like, may I have this dance? It was interesting. Now, for some of you, this could be the past situation. Maybe somebody does want to come back from the past and they want to say they're sorry. Maybe they want to come back and act like everything is just fine and never apologize. I feel like for some of you in that case, you have moved on. Maybe you're not necessarily like, you know, I don't know, it's like sticking up your middle finger and being an asshole here. I do feel like you might be direct, but I kind of feel like some of you might just make that communication coming back short and sweet because you want to head towards where it's deep and divine. But I do feel like for some of you, bear with me when I have all these different situations that I have coming in for all different groups of you. I do feel like if somebody is coming back from your past and you recognize through their body language, through their voice, through their inflections, through their actions and not just words, or maybe for some of you, somebody you know, was able to show their love, or they were very, I'm getting kind of touchy or romantic, and, you know, the sassy part came easy, but the words were a little, you know, far behind, that somebody is matching the intensity of those words with the sassy time. And I do feel like you're going to recognize that somebody is either going to come back different, and that's going to have that new fresh start that came through. Wherever your sunrise was, they all went flying. Here it is. I jumped in the creek. But that is up to you to see if there's a big change in someone or not. And it's giving somebody the grace, because changes don't, you know, it's not an immediate thing. Especially if somebody is changing within a partnership with you, you have to be self-reflective of also what you can do differently. It's not just about the other person was wrong and they have to come in different, you're not accepting less than whatever. You had a role you played in that situation. So what was the role you played? What could you have done differently? What would you change that maybe, you know, would help with that dynamic or that healing? If you were just looking at somebody else's, you know, actions or words or not words and having no self-reflection of the role you played, you're missing a big part of a partnership. And probably the biggest part, because the change starts in you. And it can also be where when you change and your vibration is changed, either somebody's going to match that vibrational change or they're not. And if they don't, see where your new vibration, your new strength, your new energy does match. Here somebody wants to be together. They don't know how it is that you came into their life or why you came when you did, but they definitely know that being with you is different. That communication with you is, I just heard unbelievable. That they feel different when they are next to you. How we found each other, we are meant to be together forever and ever and ever and for eternity. So somebody that, I mean, if somebody misses you and they want to always be with you and they want to make changes because they see the far future way into eternity with you, then that would be somebody pretty willing to do that self-reflecting and make some changes. And it's also not just for you. It's more of that inspiration because of you and for one's self. That bird just dove into the water over there. So just have patience. You know, changes don't happen overnight. You've been patient with me during this journey. I feel like this person's also tested your patience pretty harshly here and there. The wait is over. True love is here. Well, I am kind of getting, for some of you, like, I kind of see a little bit of immaturity. You know, maybe somebody in the past could talk their way through and around and out and in of anything. But I feel like that was all because it was like, it all had to do with surface stuff. And I'm not getting that with you. I feel like you are so much deeper than that, that maybe somebody really had to dive deep, not only uncovering the many layers of you, but within themselves. Tired of hearing my excuse, all talk, no actions. Have patience. All right, so let's continue. Whew. Hold on. I feel like this reading keeps getting chopped. It's like in segments. So I ran out of room again. I guess I have to delete more than 1 or 2 videos, or this is going to keep happening. So for now, let's continue and get you some tarot messages. We're going to use the Mermaid Tarot. I really don't want to drop these in the water because they're new and I really like them. So let's ask about what your energy is. Let's ask about how this person is viewing you right now. Whoever's admiring, how is this person viewing the collective right now? Please and thank you. How do they view the collective? They view you as marriage material. I also pulled this upside down. It could also be that you're a little rebellious. You go against the status quo. You don't need outside validation to like, I hear to tailor your way. I feel like you do something your own way. The Hierophant is society. The Hierophant is also wise counsel. The Hierophant is getting that counsel or that communion with God, being able to speak that truth and embody the lesson in one's life. Sometimes it's even the person that is able to gift that lesson so it's really heard, and others like get the information and are inspired to also live that truth. So, but sometimes that is somebody who breaks the mold. You know, sometimes it is someone that is very traditional. So maybe there's a combination of that, sort of what I see. Like there's a combination where you are, you know, maybe really traditional and maybe kind of the black sheep all at the same time. You are your own conundrum, and there's somebody that loves that about you. It could be where somebody always went with the status quo, what society said you had to do, the way something has to flow, the general progress of what a relationship is, or how you go about doing this. And I feel like you've kind of cracked that mold, or introduced something new to somebody where they're like, I guess you don't have to do it like everyone else. I feel like there was, I hear like sheeple, you know, like you don't always have to do it the same way as everyone else. Just because everyone else does it doesn't mean it's always right. But there's also beautiful things to look at in tradition that, you know, you want to keep with you and hold on to with respect. I hope that made sense. Another fish. I hope you saw that one. I'm getting a dichotomy with this. I'm getting there is something that you do unlike anyone else and you don't give a shit. Or maybe that's this person too. Maybe you're really traditional, and maybe this person comes in and they're like a fish out of water, and you're like, wow, you don't like, you go to the beat of your own drum, don't you? And you kind of like that. Maybe that's why there's a beautiful matched mismatch. You know, that opposites attract energy. But I feel like there's some kind of morphing. So either it's that morphing within you, or whatever you have, the other person doesn't. And maybe I still feel like there's a back and forth, I don't know, like teacher student, and then there's the student and the teacher, back and forth. I'm not getting that it's just the one is the teacher and the other one's always in student. You know, I feel like it's that, you know, it's always that student that questions something that can maybe even get that teacher that always went by the rule book to think outside the box. But there's something where I'm getting the book. So maybe it is knowledge, but I'm getting that it's more knowledge within. It could also be that don't judge a book by its cover. Really get to like in the story or underneath the surface of something to really know. I hear the truth behind somebody's eyes, or maybe the truth behind somebody's words, or maybe why somebody's words are a certain way because you didn't know their background or their truth or their story. But I'm kind of getting, for a lot of you, whoever this is that's admiring you, I mean, what was that? Somebody sees you as forever and into eternity. So for some of you, this could be a spiritual marriage. And that has nothing to do with signing paperwork or going by what society says. It's uniquely yours, your unique definition, your unique connection. I mean, it's a Hierophant, so it's definitely a divine energy. There's something about love that I'm getting, like something about the definition changing, maybe because of you. Maybe somebody is feeling a love they've never actually felt for anyone else, for you, and maybe for some of you that's coming in. The Hierophant could also be a Taurus. I mean, he had a tortoise. Let's see, let's get one more because I can hear like beats. Hopefully you can't hear it on the video, but I don't know if, you know, even though it's just like a bass line, I don't think I can have the music in the video. So let's get you one quick final message that would be helpful. What is clarity on the Hierophant? Wow. Big. So this person definitely sees you I'm getting they see you as like their forever person. Whoever this is coming in, it's legacy here. This is valuable energy in your time, your effort, the people, places, and things and experiences in your life, everything in the what you can touch land. This is, oh, these fish are jumping. I hope you heard that one. This is, I mean, the 10 of treasure. Maybe somebody feels like you're a treasure, you know. They were following the clues. Maybe they got off of the map, but they got back on track. I feel like this has something to do with maybe your family values or how you value your family and your friends, and yet I'm still getting you go to the beat of your own drum at the same time. This is somebody who wants to join in their legacy with you. This is somebody who wants to build something really stable for the future with you, give you security. Maybe for some of you, if you're at that age, start a family or blend a family together. There's also something here about generations. Maybe somebody is way older or way younger than you for some of you. This is also connecting to the Tree of Life, the 10 of treasure. It's having recognition that every single person has his or her own definition of what is valuable, what is treasure to them. You know, for some it is what they are working on. For some it is their family. For some it is their friends. For some it is being healthy. For some, maybe it's just traveling the world and having no stress. For some, they like the stress. They want a little pressure and they want the, you know, they want that challenge. But there's something here about, I'm getting growth, being in the energy of constant growth, because quite frankly, that's what we come down here to do. And if you hit the like You don't feel like anything's growing anymore. You feel like something's kind of stagnant. Even with a partnership, if you have a partner in your life that is divinely pushing you to be the best you can keep becoming, that's such a strong place to be and such a strong person to be with. Because it's when you kind of stop growing, it's like you're kind of missing out on the big thing you came here to do. So I'm getting that maybe this is somebody breaking tradition, or it could be cutting some strings if there was, I don't know. I do see like family here, but I feel like there's a difference between the family you choose to have, your soul family, because you know that you groove with them, and the family that your soul chose to have because of usually some lesson that you needed to learn. Because sometimes you have a family that is so not what you want to have as your family when you grow up. It's so opposite that having that opposite energy really pushed you out, and you're like, I will not do any of that tradition shit or what I grew up in. None of that grooves with me. I've always questioned it. It's not for me. I'm gonna go this direction. And it's you being that ballsy energy to go a totally different direction. And for some of you, you were gifted this family dynamic or people in your life that were so beautiful that you are that example of what it can be like to have two parents in love with each other, or siblings that get along and have big family reunions. And even if let's just say you have a big family reunion, maybe there's that one weird aunt or uncle, or husband or wife of cousin so-and-so that you're like, dude, they're a douchebag. Sometimes you just can't choose everybody, but you can choose the people in your life you consider your family. So maybe it's having patience. Where's your patience thing? Here with the people that, you just got to get through the dinner, get through that, get through the holiday dinner. Uncle so-and-so is going to get weird after he has that turkey and 2 pints of beer. But it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting, it's kind of the way you look at everything. And if you look at something and you don't feel right, you don't have to be there. You can be like, gonna make a video call from, I don't know why I just heard Miami here, guys. I hope you're having a great dinner. I love you so much. But then you're there with like your new family or your honey, or your friends, because you feel good there. I don't know what I am seeing. I hope this makes sense for some of you. Family can be complicated. But there's something about someone coming in where it's not complicated with them. That feels like a sure thing for you, or you feel like the sure thing for this person. Maybe that whole family matter dynamic thing will work itself out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But there's something about I hear your bestie, about having your person be the one that supports you and in your corner. And if you do have a partnership that's quite frankly, like divinely brought into your life, it's about the love between you and that person, and trusting that if it is a real falling in love kind of thing, and it's not just about the material world over here, that love will be inspiring to others. Give permission to others that they can too have love that's true. Because I feel like there's something about a lot of people never actually getting to witness what you might get to have in your life, or a possible love that wants to come in here. Also Sagittarius, because you got temperance. I mean, look at this mermaid here. This mermaid is out of the water. She's a fish out of water. And yet, so she is offering something. She's offering, she could be looking at her reflection, but it looks like she's giving an offer, because I feel like this energy, the temperance energy, is finding that center point. So if you're at a big gathering with all your family, I'm going back to that, family reunion or something like that. Maybe it's a school reunion. You got different people doing different things. You have to just find your center amongst all those personalities. Know who you are. Live your truth, not worry about all the other personalities. There's something about going through different emotional situations. Now, let's just say all of those energies within temperance, it's like, you know, this situation, you felt happy half of your day, and then something happened over here, and now you're like, man, my day was going so good. How'd that big storm cloud come in? Why'd that person be all grumpy? Now I'm all rah, 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 rah. You know, and it's like, you have to be like, okay, that was an extreme from that situation to that situation. So how can I go back to my center? Because you have divine help with temperance. There's always that angel that is protecting you, helping you, guiding you. It's that blending, going back to the little seahorse here, it's that blend between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. But that blend starts in you. It can also be a dynamic between two. But first, it's finding that balance within yourself and bringing that energy into you. If there's anyone that makes you feel out of balance, where can you go that would put you back into balance? If there's somebody in your life that always makes you feel like, you know, they help you see the other side of a situation, or, you know, if you're up there, like, I don't know why I see somebody like flittering away, they kind of ground you back down to earth. They show you the reality of a situation. But if somebody's, you know, always grounded, maybe this is somebody that's like, oh no, you can fly, let me give you a lift. Boom. You know, you have to always look at how to have a little bit of everything. Upside down temperance is, you know, all masculine and like tapping into none of your femininity. Or it's all feminine and not putting the pants on and being a little masculine and diving in and being a little bit progressive and aggressive sometimes. It's even where you have the full capability to transmute that energy, whatever it is, into golden energy, but you don't do the transmuting. So it's generally like art. What is art? Sometimes art's very linear, you know, paint by numbers. Sometimes art is just throwing, you know, splattering the paint on the canvas and seeing what happens. Art is also something like music. Music is in the moment. You know, you're not thinking too far ahead, you're not behind, you're just expressing that energy of spirit when it comes out. And yet, it's kind of linear because sometimes you are reading the notes. There is a beat. You're following the cadence. It's left brain, right brain, all at the same time. So, and I just keep seeing that changing lead, you know, heavy base metal into gold. So if there's something that's heavy like lead, how do you transmute that situation or that experience into gold, into your strength, into a possibility, into seeing that same situation in a different light? I hope that all made sense. I feel like this is our reading. That noise is kind of distracting me a little bit, and let's give you a spirit message. Let's give you one spirit message on temperance. That's Major Arcana 14, the 10 of Pentacles, or what was it? The 10 of Treasure, and then the Hierophant, number 5. Also, 5 represents change. One more, please and thank you. Oh, I definitely need my glasses for this. Hold on. What do we got as our final message? Go back to the heart of who you truly are, and there you will find peace. Look at your life in its entirety. Acknowledge any old wounds, release them. That's sort of what I saw with that lead energy. Use what they taught you as added strength, moving forward with a renewed sense of confidence. With this, I bid you adieu. Thank you for joining me here on the creek. Rose, you were such a good girl. You were so good. So good. I love you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.